Just checking if you can see my screen now. Public Image Coordinators, past District Governor Dato Bindi, past District Governor Mildred Bitangkol, Assistant Public Image Coordinators of Zone 9s and 10, our present, past, and future district leaders, club presidents, Rotarians, and Rotary actors joining us tonight. A huge shout out to my fellow Filipino Rotarians and Rotary actors. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to be in the presence of many inspiring leaders and mentors. Again, mabuhay from the Philippines. Allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Christian Ian de Borja, a young Rotarian from the Rotary Club of San Pedro Magic and a proud product of Rotaract. I served as the president of the Rotary Club of San Pedro East and have had the privilege of helping shape young leadership across the Asia Pacific region through the Asia Pacific Rotaract Multi-District Information Organization. Outside Rotary, I work in marketing, communications, and public relations, which fuels my passion in helping Rotary share its story in ways that resonate with today's world. It is an honor to speak before you today as someone who has grown up in the Rotary family. For most of my life in service, I introduced myself as a Rotary actor, but today I speak to you as a young Rotarian, someone slowly transitioning into a new season of service, carrying lessons, energy, and friendships built through Rotary. And it feels humbling to be part of this conversation because we are witnessing a beautiful moment in Rotary's history, a proud moment where generations are not divided by age, but united by purpose. Our world is changing fast, but Rotary's mission has never changed. We exist to provide service to others. We promote integrity. We advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace. And we do all this through a global fellowship of leaders. Rotary's vision is simple yet powerful, a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change. What's changing is not our mission, but how we bring mission to life. Before, communications meant letters, meetings, and handshakes. Today, it happens through 15-second videos and reels, quick captions, and hashtags. Before, service was mainly local, close, personal, and hands-on. Today, service has expanded, global, digital, and interconnected. And in this rapidly shifting world, Rotary must evolve, not by abandoning tradition, but by adapting our methods to remain relevant and inspiring. Next Gen Rotary is not about replacing what came before us. It's about building on a century long foundation. It's about making Rotary visible, relatable, and inspiring for the generations yet to come. It's about ensuring that our mission continues by evolving how we serve and how we tell our story. As someone working in the marketing and communications, I've learned something simple but powerful. It's not enough to do good. People also need to see the good that we do. If our stories stay untold, our impact stays invisible. Public image is not about vanity. It's about making sure our service inspires others to take action. When we tell our story well, we invite people into the movement. Today, stories drive connection. A
Ano
single
ma'am, wala
post
po kaming
can
screen.
inspire a stranger to donate, volunteer, or join. A single reel or video can showcase Rotary's compassion and leadership to thousands of people we may never meet. If every service project came with a story so human and heartfelt that people felt, I want to be part of that, then Rotary becomes a movement and not just an organization. Rotary taught me, or Rotaract taught me the value of visibility and how stories shape engagement. Young leaders today share service through photos, reels, and campaigns that focus not just on what we do, but why we do it. Public image, when done right, becomes an act of service. Every story can spark other act of kindness somewhere else. And as I transition to Rotary, I bring the spirit of creativity, collaboration, and communication to keep Rotary's mission alive in today's digital age. So, who is the new face of Rotary? It's the Rotarian who mentors young leaders, not manages them. It's the Rotary actor who see Rotary not as a finish line, but a lifelong calling. It's clubs that embrace innovation while preserving Rotary's values. And if you want a real example of what next gen Rotary looks like, let me proudly share with you my own Rotary family. The Rotary Club of San Pedro Magic, chartered on May 2015, that was 10 years ago, was formed entirely 100% by former Rotary actors who transitioned to Rotary. It is the second magical club in the Philippines, following the Rotary Club of Manila Magic. Both clubs are named or as an ode to Rotarian Edison Magic Ong, whose leadership and spirit inspired a whole culture of joyful creative service. These were young leaders, most of them are past presidents of the Rotary Club, who were not ready to stop serving, so they continued the journey in Rotary with the same passion, creativity, and energy they had in Rotaract. Today, they are not just Rotarians, they are mentors, guiding and supporting the Rotary Club they once belonged to, the Rotary Club of San Pedro East. They are also active members of the Youth Service Committee of our own district. This is what Next Gen Rotary looks like. Rotaractors becoming Rotarians, Rotarians mentoring Rotaractors, generations lifting each other, sustaining the legacy of magic leadership through time. A complete cycle of service, leadership, and mentorship. We are no longer us and them. We are one Rotary family, standing side by side, learning from one another, building the future together. A family built on mentorship, friendship, and legacy. The spirit of Edison Magic Ong taught us that leadership is not about position, it's about inspiring others. And that inspiration comes and continues through the magical clubs, where Rotarians and Rotaractors stand side by side, united by purpose and driven by impact. That is the heart of Next Gen Rotary. Not just younger leaders, not just modern tools, but continuity and legacy. And a service that transforms from one generation to the next. Reimagining Rotary doesn't mean forgetting our past. It means honoring it by ensuring it continues to inspire the world we live in today. As a young Rotarian, I don't want to change Rotary. I want to continue it. I want to tell its stories in the language my generation understands. Because the new face of Rotary is not about who's in the photo. It's about the light in our eyes when we serve. That same light Paul Harris had more than a century ago. That light hasn't dimmed. It's simply finding new ways to shine. Mabuhay from the Philippines. Thank you and maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, Ian. What an insightful keynote. And for reminding us that the Rotary of tomorrow is built by decisions we make today. That amazing presentation definitely has, I can see so many clapping emojis and hearts for you, PDRR, Rotarian Ian. I'm so happy to see that. And probably if there's any questions in the chat, we can save them till the end of the session. I will now like to invite our next topic, our next speaker for our next topic, about the partnership between Rotary and Rotary. Our next session is titled Building Bridges, Not Walls, Strengthening Collaboration Between Rotary and Rotary. To share with us, we have IPDRR Chen from the Rotary Club of Do Liu Science, Rotary International District 3470, Taiwan. Jean has first-hand experience in building strong Rotary and Rotary collaborations at club and district levels, and she'll be sharing practical ways we can move from token partnerships to true co-creations of projects, leaderships, and pathways that can help us boost maybe public image and also membership in our Rotary and Rotary clubs. Jean, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Leaders of Rotary and Rotary Actors, it's truly a pleasure and privilege to join you today on the webinar. Well, not only as a speaker, but also as a proud member of Rotary and as someone who has received a lot of help and support from the Rotary community. So if I may start sharing my screen, see if that works. Okay. So can I confirm with everyone if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can, Jean.
Okay. So today I'm going to briefly talk about building bridges, not strengthening cooperation between Rotary and Rotary. So a little. As I mentioned that I'm part of the Rotary, I have a lot of support from Rotary, right? Because since I was a teenager, I was part of the youth exchange program students that went from Taiwan to USA in 2008, 2009. Afterwards, when I came back, I was part of Interact Club, doing community service and in elementary school and in high school. And then I was part of the Rotex, which is an organization that helps inbound exchange students adapt to their exchange country. And I did that for 5 years. Then I finally came back to Rotary through Rotary, starting from 4 years ago. I was charter president of our club, and then I was the immediate past district Rotary representative of our district 3470 here in Taiwan. And now I'm serving as the deputy secretary of APR MDIO. So you can say that I have a lot of experience in the family of not just Rotary, but also Rotary. So for the past 4 years, I've introduced myself as Rotary Actors, right? Someone who has learned leadership through friendship and through service, club meetings, after work, and moments where service felt more like shared adventures with your fellow Rotary Actors. And yet today, as I stand here in front of the webinar, I don't speak merely as a Rotary Actors. I speak as someone who understands that Rotary and Rotary are not two separate worlds. We are one family, one community, and one mission. So today's conversation is not about comparing generations or debate what makes us different. It's about what makes us stronger together. It is about building bridges, not walls, creating connection that empowers both Rotarians and Rotary Actors to thrive in this changing world. So first of all, we have to talk about the relationship between Rotary and Rotary. So Rotary, as our past Rotary president, Stephanie Ercher has once said, Rotary is actually the bullpen of Rotary. Why is that? Because in baseball, in case a lot of us don't know, in baseball, the sport, the bullpen is where the pitchers actually warm up, where talent is trained, potential is shaped, and future champions are prepared. In the same way, Rotary is the bullpen of Rotary. So Rotary is basically training Rotary to be the future Rotarians, right? And basically where we learn to lead, communicate, plan, fail, and try again and grow. So when friendship becomes mentorship and mentorship from Rotary become lifelong bond in service. That's how the two community works together. So when we say Rotary is the bullpen, we actually are not placing, sorry, the PowerPoint's a little bit off. We're actually not placing Rotary below Rotary. We're placing Rotary within Rotary because we're a vital and dynamic part of the Rotary pipeline. Because the truth is simple. There is no future Rotary without today's Rotary. And Rotary becomes stronger when it thrives and grows alongside Rotary, along its guideline, not away from it. So essentially, we're not two teams. We're one team. And Rotary actors are young and youthful and creative, right? So we inject Rotary with creativity, digital fluency, community energy, and new perspectives. Whereas Rotary brings Rotary wisdom, sustainability, professional network, and a century of proven service. So essentially, if Rotary is a tree, then Rotary is the young branch. We're growing from the same roots, and we're reaching towards the same goal, towards the same sun. So many of us join Rotary as students or young professional in work fields with limited resource, but unlimited passion. So every time a Rotarian actually guide us, encourage us, or simply believe in us, and that passion will actually turn into confidence, capability, and commitment for Rotary actors and future Rotary actors. And that is why collaboration is not optional, it is essential. Because we're one family, and family grow stronger when generations support each other, learn from each other, and thrive together. So that brings to my next point. Rotarians essentially is still slightly different from Rotary actors, right? So why should the community of Rotary should and wants to collaborate? Well, the simple truth is that Rotary needs their young leaders now, not in the future, but right now, right? Because essentially, Rotary actors will grow, they age, and they become the future member, potential member of Rotary. So Rotary actors would include innovation, digital storytelling, which we are very good at, and a fresh view of community needs. We spot things in the roots of community where other people, maybe like Rotarians, don't see because we pay attention to the younger generation that we resonate with. So the real magic happens when Rotary becomes a bridge because it guides young leaders like us, Rotary actors, to grow with purpose, clarity, and confidence. So what's very important is because why Rotary should and want to collaborate is because through mentorship actually multiplies impact. Rotarians have decades of experience, right? Because they've been around so long, they know how to make people connection, they know how to navigate through life and work. They know what works, what fails, and what sustain community change. But mentorship isn't about giving orders. It is about giving support. So when a Rotarian mentors a Rotary actor, they're not just shaping a project. They're shaping a future leader for the community and for the Rotary. And in return, Rotary actors rediscover their own self, and Rotarian find out their own passion, their energy, and optimism through the eyes of the younger leaders. And that's why that brings to my next point. Why should Rotary collaborate with Rotary? Because it keeps Rotary relevant and vibrant for the young generation and the current generation. Because let's be honest, the world today communicates differently, right? It works differently. And even the volunteers, they volunteer differently. And with that in mind, Rotary actors, as the younger generation, we help Rotary adapt because we can turn service project into compelling online stories through social medias. And we bring digital tools into meetings and planning to make efficiency. And we also speak a language that's spoke to the new volunteers, the new younger generation, so we can expand our exposure in the community. So when Rotary's legacy meets Rotarac's modern mindset, the result is a Rotary that stays visible, relatable, and inspiring, as Ian has mentioned. So the power of mentoring is that Rotary gains when Rotaractors transition smoothly, right? So when Rotarians share wisdom, it also shapes our leader, and the youth energy of Rotarian also will inspire the rest of the people. And most importantly, last but not least, why mentorship is crucial from Rotarians to Rotaractors. It's because through generational partnership, we actually are strengthening our membership retainment, not just for Rotary, but also for Rotaract when we work together. Because through collaboration and through mentorship, through support, Rotaractors can transition smoothly to the community of Rotary, not out of pressure, but because they have a sense of belonging. Kind of like the Maslow pyramid, the third tier, the sense of belonging, right? That's what we all need. So when Rotarian mentors collaborate and invite Rotaractors into shared spaces of leadership, something powerful actually happens. Because young adults, young professional as Rotaractors, we don't just leave Rotaractors and feel like Rotary is a distant community. We grow into Rotary. It becomes part of us. Because through the collaboration, where do you feel like Rotary is home, right? So, in that case, let's talk about some concrete points. How can Rotary mentor? So the 5 steps, general guideline is, first of all, listen first before giving advice. Because Rotaractors don't actually need management, we need guidance. We need the support and you lend a year when we are working on a project, when we are figuring out how to do a community service more thoroughly, and when we stumble across the wall, but we really want to break through that wall. That's when we need Rotarians to listen and lend a hand. Second of all, how Rotary can mentor is they can open doors, invite Rotaractors to join committees, share project, and planning processes, because those are the concrete steps that can help us learn the logistic of how Rotary works, how service project can be done thoroughly without missing the details. And third of all, share knowledge generously, because lessons learned from decades of service are treasures. Rotarians know how the community of Rotary and how community services are done through their years of experience and through the vast network. And when Rotarians generously share knowledge with us, that means we are an empty glass that are getting water poured into ourselves. We are becoming a better leader than ourselves yesterday, and then we can do more good for the community. Fourth of all, we would wish the Rotarians to give real opportunities, not just responsibility, to the future leader. Because when you let young leaders lead parts of real Rotary works, that involvement is where we learn, where we know what mistakes to avoid, what actually works, what are the right things to do. Lastly, how Rotary can mentor is celebrate our wins. No matter how big, no matter how small, recognition fuels growth. Whenever a simple pat on the shoulder or a simple good job would keep our hearts going, would keep our passion growing. And that's how Rotary can mentor. So a lot of times, sponsor clubs, of course, would give monetary capitals to support events, to support a community service, or to support a service project, which is great because we need that in order for a service to continue. But also, we need the soft guidance. We need the step-by-step guidance, kind of like how to support a community service or to imagine support a service project, Rotary, which is great because like we need that. Parents that are raising you to be responsible adults, right? So these are the 5 steps that Rotary can actually mentor. Not instead of just giving us monetary support to do a service project, invite us to see how each step is taken, how to write a proposal, what things to do. When interacting with the community, what should we look out for, what to do, what not to do. Those are how Rotary can mentor. So now that we talked about how Rotary can mentor, collaboration is a two-way street. And if we want to build bridge, not walls, right? Rotary must also play a part responsibly, actively, and respectfully. So here's how that would look like, how Rotary can collaborate. First of all, we have to show readiness, not perfection, just readiness. Because Rotarians definitely don't expect Rotary actors to know everything, right? But they will appreciate young leaders who show initiative, curiosity, and the willingness to serve and to learn, right? So when Rotary actors show up on time, follow on commitment, and ask for guidance, we prove to Rotarians that we are serious about leadership and service. We're not just about extending our hand out with our palms up, asking for stuff. We are asking for opportunity to turn our palms down, to give back to the community, to be people of actions. Second of all, we have to communicate clearly and consistently. What does that mean? It doesn't just mean talk to the Rotarians constantly. It means that when it comes to community service project, we have to always be reporting back on progress. So because Rotary actually values structure, transparency, and accountabilities, right? So we can definitely build trust with the Rotarian by updating Rotarians on project progress and proactively seeking feedbacks, coordinating joint schedules with them, or sharing outcomes with clarity. Because those steps not only mean we're showing the Rotarians that we are doing actual work, just like you guys are doing in Rotary, but it's also a sign of responsibility. So good communication, of course, is the foundation of good collaboration. And then thirdly, we have to bring creativity and energy to the table. I mean, come on, we're the young people, right? So Rotary doesn't need Rotaract to copy them. Rotary just need Rotaract to complement them by designing modern project materials. Or we can run social media campaign, like how Ian mentioned, and engaging young communities and bring fresh themes and format into events. So change the format, but carry on the legacy. Don't change the legacy because that's all we're there to do. Rotary already provides the roots. We just have to make the branches grow and reach into new horizons. Lastly, which is very importantly, is respect tradition. As mentioned, Rotary's legacy is powerful because it is built through generations of discipline and integrity. So Rotaract doesn't replace the legacy. We have to expand it, right? So while we are being creative, we also have to respect the traditions that were built through decades of hard work by the Rotarians. And with that in mind, how can we collaborate and how can we make more Rotary actors become interested in being in the community of Rotary and then essentially grow into Rotary? Is something that both Rotary and Rotary have to pay attention to, is the factor that drives young leaders to become Rotary actors. So we as young leaders who actually are part of Rotary Acts, right? What drives us into joining this massive community is because we know when we join it, we have a sense of purpose. We know our service will be meaningful. And then we value growth. We want to learn and become stronger leaders than the self we are yesterday. And then that sense of belonging. We want to feel included in the family, in the massive extended network of people like-minded. And finally, we value impact because we want to see our community transformed through teamwork, not by just our hands, but by the hands of teamwork, right? So if we can keep these driving factors in mind when we collaborate, not just with ourselves, with other Rotary Club, but also with Rotary, this is how we as one big family can grow together, can stick together, can be one and strive to do more community service. So when we work with Rotary from a place of humility, respect, and collaboration, we strengthen not only just our club, but entire movement, the entire service project, and we become actual people of action, right? So, my fellow Rotarians and Rotaractors, building bridges is not just a theme, it is a calling. Rotary and Rotaract were never meant to stand apart. We're meant to rise together because each generation learned from the other, strengthen the other, inspiring the other. Rotarians offer wisdom, mentorship, and stability. And Rotaractors offer energy, innovation, and connection to the modern world. And together, we unite for good. We create a Rotary that is timeless, rooted in history, yet ready for the future. So as a member of this family, my hope is simple. We stop thinking in terms of us with them, because in service, there is only we. One mission, one community, one family. When we build bridges, we don't just connect clubs, we connect generation from top to down. We connect strength from left to right. We connect hearts from people to people, from nation to nation. And those connections become the foundation on which Rotary's next 100 year of service will stand. And thank you. Let's continue building those bridges together.
Thank you so much, Jean, for those very real and practical insights on how we can build bridges instead of walls. Again, a very big round of applause for IPDRR Jean. We're so happy to have you here with us today. So from Ian and Jean's sharing, you can see that Rotary is... Yeah, so from Ian and Jean's sharing, you can see that Rotary is becoming more dynamic. And this is just a very short story that I have to share, that I once remember our own ARPIC's Yasmin. She shared on her social media a story of how a 32-year-old Rotaractor and a 28-year-old Rotarian were having a meeting discussing how they can work together and do projects together. So regardless of their titles, regardless of their age or what they stand for, this was something that taught me that Rotary is really evolving into the next generation, and being a member of Rotary International is just that great, that we are part of this change that we are seeing so far. Thank you so much, Jean, once again. On to our final segment that brings us to our discussion. We have Ashvina Annamitra. Ashvina will be speaking about purpose with relevance, engaging the modern member. Ashvina is from the Rotary Club of Petaling Jaya, from the Rotary International District 3300 Malaysia, and she previously served as the Rotary District Public Image Chair for the Rotary District 3300. She's also a public image specialist, working closely with clubs on branding, content, and engagement strategies. Ashvina will also help us tie together the key messages from tonight and point some useful resources in our direction. Ashvina, the screen is yours.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Assistant ARPIC John. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Hope you all are still here with me. Type 1 if you're excited for the session today. Yes. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. So hello, everyone. And I'm going to attempt to say hello in the many different languages of our zone. So apa kabar, ni hao, mabuhay, sawadika, xin chao, mingalaba, sabaydi, and susade to all. So greetings to ARPIC PDG Datuk Bindi, ARPIC PDG Mildred, Assistant ARPICs, current, future, and past district leaders, Rotarians, Rotractors, and guests. Thank you for dialing in from wherever you are in the world right now. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen. Is it good to go? Okay, wonderful. So today I'll be talking about engaging the modern member. But before we dive into the topics, I'd like to just share, I'd like to share a little bit about myself. So hi, I'm Ashvina. People call me Ash for short. So I've been a proud member of the Rotaract community since 2018. Wow, that's like 7 years now that I think about it. I'm currently serving as Vice President at the Rotaract Club of Petaling Jaya in District 3300. And I was the immediate past District Public Image Chair, so under IPDRR John's term. Professionally, I'm in the strategic transformation line over at Maybank. Maybe some of you may know because Maybank has also regional presence in a few ASEAN countries. And fun fact, I love graphic design and I love, love, love Canva. So when Jonathan reached out to me to, have a sharing session today, I was beyond ecstatic. And another fun fact over here, yes, I love a good cup of matcha. Okay, now moving on. Let's talk about Rotarac and Rotary's strength. So what do you think our strength lies in? Because to me, it's definitely diversity, right? So right now, of course, with diversity comes across various challenges. And I think the main challenge, if you're looking at the aspect of public image and social media, is keeping engagement relevant across generations, right? Because we've got different generations, using various social medias, different social medias to begin with. And the goal is to create meaningful connections through modern communication and shared purpose. And I think this is especially important in this day and age where social media can get overwhelming and, information overload, right? Now, who is the modern member, you ask? To me, the modern member is digitally fluent, right? In this day and age, you've got so many social media tools, you've got so many, social media platforms, artificial intelligence tools, right? So the modern member is fluent in the sense that they are well versed with all of this. They know that all of this exists. I mean, all of us here, I'm sure, know very much about, the social medias that we have and Chat GPT, right? These are names that are very familiar to us, right? So the modern member is digitally fluent and well versed. They are also purpose driven. I think we can see this more in recent days with tough economic situations, war zone, war torn countries, and a lot of injustice happening everywhere in the world. People are more concerned about when you are doing something, what is the purpose behind it, right? I know, especially for me, if I want to contribute to something or if I want to kickstart an initiative, I must make sure that I fully resonate with it. Now, tying to that, the modern member is also community oriented because let's be real, no man is an island, and we thrive when we're in a community, when we get to do work together. And also that's why it's important to actually cultivate these healthy relationships we have with our community. And also, the modern member is time conscious. I think all of us here can relate to it because suddenly, let's say we're scrolling on social media, and if something does not catch our attention in the next 10 to 15 seconds, highly likely we will scroll, right? Or like me, sometimes what I do is I long press and fast forward throughout the video because sometimes I feel like people who put up long videos there on TikTok or Instagram, I can be like, okay, they're speaking a bit slow. I want to get on faster so I can continue scrolling, right? So now I have an activity for all of you here. Tell me what keeps you engaged in Rotary and Rotarac. So how we're going to do this is you will now scan this QR code, or you can log on to menti.com and type in the code that you see on the screen. Okay, so I think, Jonathan, if you could help me share. Okay, yes, here's shared. So please log in. I'm going to just stop sharing for a while and I will go over to the Menti. So keep your answers coming. We'd love to see them and share your ideas. Okay. Just give me a second as I pull up. Okay, can you guys see my screen? It is loading. Okay, so yes, okay, keep your answers coming. Just, tell us what really keeps you engaged. Why do you keep coming back to Rotary, to Rotarac, right? So I see mainly friends, people, and service, right? That's what a lot of you are saying. Yes, fellowship for Rotaractors, fellowship through service. That's what we really, live by and stand by, right? Meeting new people is one. And I think from here we can see that previously, on my point on being community oriented, we can see a lot of people, you thrive on the relationships that you have with your community. Right. And I think a beautiful aspect about the Rotary family is that we get to connect internationally. We get to we get to carry out community service internationally. So I think that's a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for sharing. I also see things like networking, keeping up with the trends. Yes, that's very nice. Growth is also very important. I think when you grow, it's then when you feel like that sense of belonging that Jean was sharing about earlier. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate it. Now I will just stop sharing and head back to my presentation. Don't worry, we'll have another activity for you later on. Okay. So let me share it back. Okay, so we've covered this earlier. So thank you again for sharing. Now, let's talk about public image in the modern era, right? Currently, everything is very visible, and visibility matters because at the end of the day, sometimes it's not just enough what you do, but you must show to the world what you are doing. Only when you show to the world and only when people understand what you're doing and see where their contributions are going to, then it then brings your credibility, and with that comes engagement. So do you see how these three things tie in together, right? So consistent storytelling builds trust. So something that I shared with clubs all the time is that always keep your social media active, always update whatever you have to do. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to try to like curate the perfect flawless poster. What's important is at the end of the day, progress updates are very important, right? Show impact over activity. Don't just tell or show people what you're going to do or what you have done. Show them the impact behind what you've done. I think that's very important. You need to see how the community that you helped, for example, is continuing to thrive and will continue to thrive in the future, right? And blend professional tone with authentic voices, because remember, real faces and real stories are the ones that are going to hit the spot with everyone. Okay. Now, let me share a little bit on PR and branding strategies that work and that, we can always keep practicing to ensure that, our members are constantly engaged, right? So, like I mentioned earlier, humanizing the content, right? What do I mean by this? Share testimonials. If you have guests who joined your events, they're not Rotractors or they're not Rotarians, and because of joining an event, they resonate with your values, they really enjoy their time there, and if they want to join the club and they eventually join the club, right, share their testimonials. So this way you get word of mouth around, because remember, word of mouth is actually a very powerful marketing tool, right? Member spotlights. Members who've been with you for like just a year, just turned 1 year old in your club. Members who've been there for 20 years, who dedicated their lives to this, to the Rotary clubs, right? Share their stories, and more people will be like, wow. Because I know a lot of people, when they see what I do and they see me dedicating my weekends outside of work, or like the weeknights after work, to actually contributing to Rotrack, they're like, wow, what is it that you really do? Can you, can we join any events? And that's where I share with them, those who are not Rotrackers, some events, right? And this is how they get to know more about Rotrack. And project impact wheels, right? So as you guys know, I think on social media, when you scroll, the things that pop up more are actually videos, right? Gone were the days where only just like photos or text would just come out. Now it's all reels or short videos that you can just keep scrolling, and eventually you do scroll. Okay. Then also to leverage strategic partnerships, right? Partner with your local businesses and NGOs. See if anyone can, if anyone is willing to, let's say, collaborate with you for something. You guys can promote their products, they can promote your cause. So this way, those not in the Rotary international landscape will also get to know more about your club, right? And this is how you gain that organic, we call it organic traffic, right? So how many of you here have heard of Zeus Coffee? Maybe you can type a 1 in the chat box. Yes, one. Okay. I see a lot. Okay, yes, a lot of ones. Very nice. So Zeus is a very famous Malaysian coffee chain, and now it's like 1,000 outlets. They recently opened their 1,000th outlet here in Malaysia. I'm not too sure about its presence in other countries. But what we did last year was that for all Rotractors in District 3300, we managed to partner with them to give year-long 10% off on Zeus coffee exclusively for Rotractors. So this way, it's a win-win for both because Zeus coffee gets, a lot of orders. They get more, they are more, people are more aware of them, especially our Rotractors. And Zeus Coffee is also known to be one of the, very wallet-friendly coffee chains, and they also offer a variety. They offer a variety of drinks, and they're equally delicious, right? So this is what we managed to do. So this way, you're creating a win-win, and those who are maybe not in Rotrac, they're like, and they see this poster, they're like, oh, what is this? Like, what is Rotrac Club? Oh, I would love to join as well and maybe enjoy perks like this, right? So this way you're creating, everything is about visibility, right? Now, moving forward, I also want to share that you can partner with influencers or alumni, maybe like former Rotractors turned Rotarians like PDRR, DRC Ian, right? So now when you talk about influencers, I don't just mean social media influencers, right? A lot of you might be like, oh, it's so hard to get social media influencers to talk about our cause if it doesn't benefit them. But don't just think those influencers, think of the influential people in your community, right? So take a step back, look throughout, look in your community, in your Rotary community, in your area, who are some amazing thought leaders, who are influential people. So an initiative that I would actually like to share, one of the Rotary clubs over here in District 3300, Rotary Club of Bukit Raja, what they did was a podcast, and they invited none other than our RPIC, PDG Datuk Bindi, to actually share her journey in Rotary for the many, many years. So this way, it created that very candid conversation. We got to know more about her, and those who, know RPIC Datuk Bindi outside of Rotary would also, come across content like this. And as they listen to her, and especially seeing that she's like one of the most influential people in our district, in our Rotary landscape, they will also, this way it kind of creates a visibility on what Rotary is, and that's how you get more people to join, right? That's how you tap into the influencers or influential people's network. Okay, moving on. You also want to activate your members online. I'm sure all of your members are chronically online, or like they at least spend like half a day cumulative worth of their time on social media, scrolling through content and all. So why not? Let's get them to create content for your club or for your district, right? Make them your digital ambassadors, right? Every time there's a new post, that your club posts or your district posts, do share it on your stories, right? Get more people to know, more people to join, especially if it's a public event. You want a lot of people to join, get them to help share. I think that's something that we practice in our club as well. Whenever there's any post or what, we get our board of directors to actually share it across, right? Create social media challenges. You could do something like a 1 week social media challenge where you encourage all your members to post something. Like maybe day one could be like, what does road track mean to you, right? They can type it on Facebook, or like they can, post a picture, and then later you can be like, post your most memorable moment in Rotary, something like that, right? There's a lot of things that you can do. And also you could create a monthly content kit. I think this is also catered more towards if you are holding a public image portfolio or role in your club or in your district. You can also create a monthly content kit. Maybe you can talk about what's trending. It's like serves like a newsletter, what's trending, what social media challenges they can hop on, and some info on road track bite-sized info that they could download those images and post on their end, right? So these are many, many things that you can do, right? So now I'm going to share about strengthening visual identity. And this is what I call the public image holy grail. I'm sure everyone here knows about this. The Rotary Brand Center, right? So you can access it by scanning this QR, or just simply typing center.rotary.org on your website, and you will be able to access the website. So I'll just run through this very shortly, very briefly. So when you log in, this is what you see, and immediately on the first page, when you click on that, on the bar, you actually get to see different things that you can do on the Rotary Brand Center. So this way, even if you feel like I don't know what exactly I want to do, but I want to explore, some of you are doing right now, this is how you start about, this is how you go about, and then you look at the different things that you can do, and sharing across more, you can access pages like color, typography guidelines, because it is also important that as much as you're sharing your message on your platforms, it's also important to make sure you abide by the guidelines and your logos are done correctly and all, right? So your logo creator also can be accessed via the templates, downloads. These downloads at People of Action are ready to use collateral. So they are posters that are already prepared by Rotary. All you have to do is just click download and post them on your social media with any caption that you would like, right? So maybe just now run through on the types of social media that we have, right? Or that is more widely used these days, right? So we have Instagram, as you guys know. It's more for visual storytelling because a lot of posts and reels, right? So how you can use them, reels of service or quotes shared by, like I mentioned earlier, testimonials. You can even share behind the scenes for any events that you have. That's very interesting because as you share behind the scenes, people can learn also how do you do those events, right? And then we also have Facebook. So this is targeted towards senior audiences. I know a lot of Rotarians who do not have, Instagram or TikTok, but they're really active on Facebook. So here you can also share things like event recaps or member recognition posts, where especially your senior members can also share it across on their social media. TikTok is for creativity, and a lot of youth are on TikTok, right? So this is mainly for fun, trend-based snippets of impact. I'll show you some examples later. I think you'll really enjoy. And also LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is not very conventionally used, but is helpful for professional engagement, right? So if you were to create an account for your club or for the district, I think it would help. People can tie those accounts back to maybe the jobs that they've done. We can look at, let's say, for example, like Ashvina, Vice President at Rotary Club of Petaling Jaya. And then when you click on that, there can be many bite-sized info that other people will be able to see as well. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to stop sharing this screen and share with you another screen just to show how my club, the Rotary Club of Petaling Jaya, leverages our Instagram. So just give me a second. But hope everyone's doing good so far. Type 2 if you are okay. if you're here, still here with me, still engaged. Okay, awesome. I love it. It's coming at top speed. Okay, so now I'm going to share our Instagram, the Rotary Club of Petaling Jaya. Please let me know if you can see. Okay, so yes. Okay, so we are here at Rotary Club of Petaling Jaya's Instagram. So I just want to share with you how we take the opportunity to hop on trends, especially when we have everyone together. We want to create a fun recap on the past events that you had. So I'm just going to share. So how many of you here have heard of the trend "Nothing Beats a Jet to Holiday"? I think this is an audio that everyone has come across at some point, and you can't help but keep sticking in your head, right? To those who haven't heard, let me show you what I mean. So basically, we had a Diwali general meeting a week plus back, and we did a trend, which is basically a remix of Indian song of Telugu language specifically, with the "Nothing Beats a Trend." It's a remix, so it's really catchy, but we got everyone to dance with us. So are you ready to see some of our members dance? Okay, let me just share. And let me quickly unmute. Oops, okay. Nothing beats a jet, 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 jet. All right. So, oh, sorry. Did you guys hear the audio? Okay. I just noticed that I may not have shared the audio. Hold on.
Oh, we did. We could hear the
Oh,
audio.
you could hear? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Yes. So it's basically how we get everyone to, dance around with us. And this shows, at the end of the day, this shows that Road Track is a very fun, vibrant community, right? And we're not just all serious. So if you take a look here, let me share across the number of views that our reels get when we hop on trends. We get like about, if you see here, 5,280 views. And then a lot of our trends that we hopped on here, 5K views, and they do significantly better than all of our other posts. So this is another thing that I'll share. Give me a second. Yes, that's me. So basically this trend was we hopped on one of the trends and we got people to try to sign up to our club, and we also provide information on where exactly you can sign up and all that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me share back to our screen, to that screen. Okay. Okay, hopefully you can all see my screen right now. Okay, so I'm just going to share across resources that used to further elevate our social media. Okay, so just running through very quickly, I think you all know Canva. Canva is for post curation. CapCut, we have CapCut for video. FreePic is a place to get free free images, and also ChatGPT where you can create your captions, any post ideas, right? So for free Canva Pro, I think I can get John maybe share the slides across to all our attendees here. So you can apply for free Canva Pro if you are a nonprofit, right? So all you need to do is just follow the instructions here, access the website, log in, and you just need to upload a document that you are registered with your country's respective registrar of society that validates you are an NGO, and then it's good to go. Okay. So just before I wrap up very quickly, maybe you can share with us one creative way that you can engage members of all ages digitally. So yeah, we can just do this quickly before we wrap up our session. So just let us know, let this be an idea sharing. Now that you've heard everything, how can we go about, engaging our talent? What will we do? So feel free to click. I will share my screen in a bit. Okay, feel free to keep your answers coming. So just let us know how can you, what would you do? Would you do a content kit? Would you have a digital ambassador campaign to get your members to post? So just let us know. Memes content, okay, that's fun. Yes, I think memes is a very great way to engage. That's also something I did previously. When I was district public image chair, I kind of used memes to get people to further interact. TikToks every meeting, yes, that's a fantastic idea. So always, I think, especially if TikTok dance easy level, yes, that's very important. I think for everyone to feel like they want to do something, it should be easy for everyone. Aesthetic background, yes, that's a nice way also. It's to catch people's eyes for your social media, right? Yeah. So if there's no more, I can just stop sharing, and then we can move on. Try to convince senior members to create reels with us. Oh, that's a nice idea. I think nowadays people are more receptive towards creating social media content with everyone. Yeah. So please do tag us, tag me if you see if you ever do create this content. We'd love to see it. We'd love to do share with me. Okay, let me reshare my screen. Okay, very quickly, here are some key takeaways from my session today. Basically, at the end of the day, engagement equals to connection plus purpose plus relevance. And modern members crave authenticity, not perfection. Remember to have that purpose showing through your posts. And continuous learning keeps the club vibrant across generations. All right. And before I end, I'd like to share this quote that I resonate with. When people are financially invested, they want a return. But when people are emotionally invested, they want to contribute. This is what I mean by always showing the purpose, and this will drive people to want to give to you. This is by Simon Sinek, the famous leadership expert. So with that, I end my session for today. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being a very engaging crowd. Let's connect. Here are my details if you wish to be in touch. Have any questions that you would like to email, you can email me further, and I'm happy to help you out wherever I can. So yeah, I will thank you very much, and I'll stop sharing my screen. Back over to you, Jonathan.
All right. Thank you so much, Ashvina. Thank you for reminding us that our stories are our members' experience. And I love to see all those content from like our Rotary Club and other Rotary Clubs as well. I think content on social media nowadays needs to be catchy, trendy, something to actually get people to actually hop on to the Rotary or Rotary movement. And a lot of suggestions there in your Mentimeter, right? So thank you so much to everyone who has joined us today. Just before we end our session, we actually just want to take a really big group picture together. So could I get everyone to turn on their webcam? I'll just get everyone to turn on their webcam, and I'll be taking a picture. All right. Okay, just wait a little bit more. All right. So on the count of, please hold your smiles. There's 2 pages for me to take the picture of. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, one more page. Please hold your smiles, everybody. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you so much, everybody. And with that, thank you so much to all the speakers for lending your time, your wisdom, your energy. To the audience, thank you for being so responsive. And thank you for learning more about the next gen of Rotary. So next gen Rotary only becomes a reality when each of us goes back and tries something different, a new way of telling our stories, a new way of engaging our members or partnering across Rotary or Rotary. Just a few final notes, the recording and resources from tonight, we'll share it to your emails or the link will be shared out. And do stay connected with us, the Rotary Public Image Team of Zones 9 and 10, and also the Rotary MDIO. I've been IPDRR Jonathan, the Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator, wishing you a very good night from Malaysia, and we look forward to seeing you in our future RPIC events. Take care, stay safe, and let's continue to create a new phase of Rotary together. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.